Let's take a look now at using Logcat to examine the contents of these special buffers of radio and events. All right, so what I want to do now is go back out for ADB. So again, remember I got to be in the folder where it's installed unless I put it in my path. Let's go to work, go to ADT bundle, it's in SDK, and it's in platform tools. All right, so what I want to do here is just go and open up a command prompt. So I've got my command prompt there. And now right now if I do an ADB devices, you notice that I have both an emulator, right, and a real device connected. So I need to direct what I want to communicate with. So as a quick example, let's look at the radio buffer on my actual cell phone. So I'm just going to do an ADB, I'm going to direct it to the device, I want to run a Logcat, and I want to look at the buffer radio. Right, so I just ADB-D, Logcat-B, radio. Now what happens there is a whole bunch of messages are going to scroll by. And at this point, the contents of those messages aren't that important, but what's really important to understand is the things we're able to see. CDMA is a type of cellular radio message, right? So we can see things about going on our CDMA radio, right? RIL is the radio interface layer, right? Data connection telling us the state is updated. Things out here that's receiving things from telephony, GPRS, right? Our GSM radio. It's not important that you understand what these messages mean today. The thing that's important to understand is that as you evolve through your development and you start doing more and more sophisticated things that rely on the networking, this is a tool you have access to if you start seeing odd behavior happening while you're dealing with your communications. Okay, let's go ahead and break out, close this one down. Now what I want to do is that, let's take a look at that events buffer. And this time we'll do that one over here against the emulator. Right, so I'm going to go back into my command prompt. So what we'll do here now is do an ADB devices. You can see that there. I'm going to do it on the emulator. So what I'll do this time is an ADB-emulator Logcat-buffer. And I want the events buffer. So that tells me of the various events that are going on in the emulator right now. And you can see things in here like the destroy service is destroying a window for the exchange service, right? Things like that. Things like interacting with the phone. And if you watch this as I interact with the emulator, so I go out here and say let's bring up an application. See, I click on that. I go and say let's bring up the calendar app. You see, as soon as I click on that app, a whole bunch of messages start coming here. The launcher was launching it. See, it's the calendar. I lost it. The calendar goes up and restarts the activity. Right? So you can see that the information about what the operating system is doing right now in terms of the events of interacting with everything on the system is being recorded here. Again, the details of what this says is not that important for right now. Again, just remember it's a tool you have that as you start to do more sophisticated things, you're having trouble figuring out quite what the platform is doing. Being able to view and save this events buffer and know what you were doing and seeing what messages were being generated, again, is a great way to get kind of low-level information. Again, you'll use this a lot more as you kind of evolve in your application development.